corporations before those of the people they are sworn to serve, then we are in a very, very sorry state.
Yes.
The French understand revolutions. The Americans should understand revolutions, and I believe they will, if things don't change dramatically for the better. We have warned the politicians about this. We've told them of the problem. What astonishes me is that within a month of the expose on Flint and lead contamination of water and the cover-up, there was a hearing of the Oversight Committee on Government Reform. We have been prevailing upon that committee for over a year and a half to hold a hearing which subpoenas William Thompson, and they have run so far from their duty. It is now up to you, the public, to hold the feet of the politicians to the fire in this election year to make sure that that happens and that they recognize who they truly represent.
I'll just speak to the distribution side of your question. We set out with this film. There's been several great films on this topic that have used grassroots efforts to sort of share the information. And when I got involved, as I said to Andy, is we're not penetrating, the ceiling. We're not getting through to the mainstream. We're not getting through to 90% of America. They're just walking blindly into this vaccine choice and not questioning and asking the appropriate questions, especially given the light of what Dr. William Thompson shared here. So this theater and what this represents going to theaters is getting it into the public eye, getting it into the mainstream society. So right now, we're very focused on being in theaters. Most people don't realize in film, it's a loss of money to be in a theater. It will take a while to do that, but it's all about being visible. What we're asking for you, what we really need from you tonight is to tweet and hit your Facebooks. We need to fill this theater like this all day tomorrow. We need to send a signal to all of the theaters in this country that says this is a viable story. Americans care about this story. It's important to them because that's what this is about. Everything revolves around success, and we need to show theaters that this is a successful movie and that people want to hear this story. After that, of course, the film will be made available. We will make sure that everybody in the world sees this film. It's extremely important. But right now, I want billboards all over every city in this country advertising this movie. And I want all the news organizations to have the press that this movie is a hit.
We have maybe some people in the back who have a question.
The research data that you guys speak about in the movie, the actual physical documents, are they available?
Yes, those documents are available. They're directly available to the public right now. The transcripts of the phone calls have been made into a book called Vaccine Whistleblower. It's authored and edited by Kevin Berry, who has an affected child himself. And also the documents have been made available directly by Representative Bill Posey, and anybody that contacts Bill Posey's office can get access to those documents.
Should those documents be sent to every doctor that's sticking a needle in a child today? I mean, if I was a doctor, which I am not, and I had to make a choice, a medical choice for a child, whether that be mine or someone else's, I would want to know that this information was available. And if it is what you say it is, I haven't seen it, and I probably wouldn't know what it was if I did, but I'm sure a physician that had that type of training would. If the document is what you guys say it is, wouldn't that at least make them question? And how come you guys haven't thought about doing that, just getting it out there to the physicians? Thank you.
It's a very good point. It is out there. It's in fact gone beyond that. And what I would recommend is there is a distillation of the fraud into 37 pages, which was sent to the Office of Research Misconduct, which has oversight over the CDC. That is available as a downloadable PDF on autismmediachannel.com. That is the document to get to your politicians, your representatives. The documents that were handed over by Thompson amount to some 10,000 pages, which no one's going to wade through unless they're particularly interested in this story. But those 37 pages put the charges that are leveled by Dr. Thompson and the people who've reviewed those documents. So please go to that, access that, and send that to your representatives.
I also want to say that the entire We had a lot of goals with this film, one of which was to be a trifecta in about 3 or 4 weeks. After that, the plan was to spend about a month advertising the film and releasing it in June. At that point, we had a website we've been working on that would be giving all these materials to everybody that wants to see it. But circumstances have changed, as most of you have seen. And a lot of things happened very quickly this week, and we took the opportunity to bring this movie to you because it was made available, and we're behind schedule. I mean, we had 3 days. In 3 days, we find ourselves here. We were working on a website and all of these things to get, all the truth out to everybody, and every doctor, and everyone that wants to challenge it, and every journalist that wants to look at it, of course, please look at it. We really request that everybody start doing their job, especially journalists. Come on, join us here. It's a really important story.
And on that note, even though this is probably one of the quickest turnarounds in distribution history, you guys have validated that it was worth it, so thank you. Danny, you're in the middle there.
We set up a 401c3, a fund, a Vaxxed fund, where the parents who want to contribute to alternate, real scientific data are able to come together and finance and fund. This is New York. There are people in here who have the means to do it. If we don't do it, it will not get done. We have to come together and pool our money and do the research, the sources. Is there anything you're thinking about setting up where we can donate strategically for real scientific research to be done, vaxxed versus unvaxxed?
You hit the nail on the head. The most important study that needs to be done is a comparison of fully vaccinated children against children who are completely unvaccinated. That the CDC have refused to do. That is a study that could be done. It could be done by a group of researchers who are actually into that study at the moment. It will need funding, but it is absolutely crucial. It is telling, very telling, that the CDC absolutely refused to do that study, as you see. Have you seen when Congressman Bill Posey challenged the CDC representative in this movie? So the Vax-Unvax study, in order to get a baseline, a baseline comparison of the long-term health outcomes of children who are completely vaccinated versus unvaccinated, has not been done, must be done, in line with congressional mandates. And without that, then we are all living in a state of ignorance, and it is totally inappropriate for the authorities to claim that they know that vaccines are safe and that they don't cause autism.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have time for about one more question. We have about 3 minutes left, and we have to clear the auditorium for the next crowd that comes in so they can see this. I do want to tell you that after we clear out, if you go up the stairs to the right, and up to the section towards the exit, the panel here can talk with you and answer more questions. So let's go one more question, and remember we have about 3 minutes left.
Are you aware of the CDC Rally for Truth and Transparency and Freedom that's going to be occurring in Atlanta on April 22nd and 23rd? And if so, do you expect to have a presence there?
Absolutely, we're aware of it. I'm